Twitter, he sucks.
Yay.
To play with us, but it's like, ugh. Yeah, no, it was fine. It was a tough one today.
How many hours did you play for?
3 hours.
What made it tough?
Huh? Oh, lots of decisions and like hard role playing stuff.
Okay.
Because my sister and I are each playing 2 characters, so it's hard to kind of split my brain between them. Because one guy's really like, yeah, I'm gonna be a hero, and the other guy's like, I don't give a fuck about all of you, so I'm gonna go over here and do this shit.
Are
like,
you trying to murder yourself?
No, because I have like a human fighter who's all like, yeah, I'm a hero, and then a dragonborn monk who's like, yeah, I don't really care about human stuff. So,
because tomorrow
dragon.
I'm doing D&D and finishing
like
the
me.
first campaign I've played, and my guy's like perfectly set up now, so I can fight the giant boss by jumping on him as a little midget and holding him down with infinite like strength that I shouldn't
well, you
have.
have to grapple him.
Yeah, but it's going to be really easy, and I also have a bunch of laxatives because I keep pooping on everything. So that's going to be kind of what happens at the very end.
Jesus Christ.
Would your dad allow you to have laxatives in...
He generally tries to keep it pretty serious, but we do have fun.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I usually just try and trick the DM into it.
Yeah,
I ate a ring and we needed to get it out, so I was like, oh, we'll just have to get some laxatives. How many bottles will you sell me? Oh, however many you want. That's the biggest mistake right there, because then I've got like 50 bottles of laxatives carried around with me.
See, my favorite part is my monk, because they're monks, they get like move silently and stealth checks, right? And they get proficiency. But he's 6'10" and 300 pounds. And he breathes lightning, but he can just be like, sneak.
Does he like...
yeah.
Like every time he breathes?
Like he...
No,
like
it's an attack. Like he's an actual dragon. Like he can.
Oh, yeah. Then.
This is so many details.
Dude, that's
so
just the
lost.
surface.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
but
hard,
like,
it's
use your
impossible to
imagination,
really
bro.
understand until you've done it, too.
Yeah, there's no way. I'm like, well, how does 6'10", 300 factor into laxatives and fire?
Oh, it doesn't. They're two separate things.
Well, because it's just like, it's
know
a
they're
game that
different
represents real life.
things,
So the rules are easy because you just do whatever there would be in real life.
Yeah, you just play your characters. Like the way I think of it is like I'm writing a story kind of thing.
Okay.
Like I'm writing a narrative, and I'm just as like first person perspective of the narrative kind of thing.
Except
and then you just
fantasy elements.
yeah, but then you like write the backstory for your character. Like this is how they got to where they are now. So this is the skills they would have because of that, and this is the things they would have on them at the time, sort of thing. So yeah, once you get into it, it's easy. But looking at it from the outside, it's like, what the fuck is this shit?
Yeah.
And there's like dice rolling. And
Like people play it in public and stuff, and I'm like,
yeah. Well, the only place I would play it in public is like the Adventurers League and whatever, which is basically like the national thing where they all follow the same campaign.
I want to LARP as my character and to have
Well, we'll have to
laxatives.
chop off your legs.
Just literally poop
I'm
everywhere.
gonna be a midget who shits on everyone.
Yeah.
Is that your character in D&D? Is that what we're
Yeah,
talking about?
I got laxatives. It's good. You can like use it like poison and put in people's drinks and stuff.
That's awesome.
They don't notice.
You're
Well,
barbarian.
not
How do you
necessarily.
possibly pull
How
that off?
accurate
Well, you
are
get a
you? Wouldn't it,
strong
like,
beer,
spray
or you get them
everywhere?
drunk, or I don't know, you just hold them down or something. It's not that hard.
Yeah. Okay. Hi.
I didn't realize we'd started.
Yeah, we started, by the way. This one's crooked
How
as
long
hell.
ago did we start? How much did I miss?
Like 2
4
seconds.
minutes of
Yeah,
talking
we're basically
about
done.
laxatives.
We
Oh,
missed
nice.
an hour.
Who doesn't like talking about laxatives?
Everybody but Matt or Alex.
I
This
can't
guy.
get this
I've
camera.
never taken laxatives.
You don't want to.
I mean,
Has
you
anyone-
wouldn't, you wouldn't
Yes.
really ever have to.
Do
unless
they,
you
do they
have
work
fun.
as instantly as they do in
No.
comedy movies?
No, it's like 4 or 5 hours.
Well, if you take a lot, they work instantly.
I suppose. On an empty stomach.
You can just eat a lot of sugar-free candy because sorbitol laxatives.
On an empty stomach, though, wouldn't you just shit out water or blood or something?
Yeah, you just have diarrhea basically,
Yeah, like water.
and then you get really dehydrated.
Yep.
No, I had to take laxatives once because I went away and I didn't poop for like 4 or 5 days in a row, and when I got home, I like couldn't shit. I was so backed up.
I know.
And so I had to take laxatives, and that was not fun.
Does
like
it
my
has anybody
cat.
figured out why when you travel you don't poop?
Isn't
No,
it usually
well, I
the
just
water?
don't like
Or you
pooping in
poop a
other.
lot.
It's a change in your diet, usually.
Well, and some
Because you don't
people don't
eat the
like
same
pooping
shit
in
you eat at
other
home.
bathrooms too, right?
Well, is it
Like
is
public
it,
bathrooms.
It's so it's like a anxiety.
There's
thing?
psychosomatic thing,
Yeah.
anxiety
Mix,
things,
probably.
diet things, digestive things. There's a bunch of
Well,
factors.
it's like if you go up, it's like low pressure and
Yeah,
low
and then your butthole gets smaller, and then you can't poop.
Yeah, you're like your Robin's cat.
Like my cat, who died of having too small of a butthole.
You gotta pure breed cats that have like the
The
tiniest
world's
butthole.
biggest butthole.
The world's
No, tiny as
No,
well.
I want giant butthole
So that
cats.
it's the
This is
laser
like
cats that,
fall.
that only last
Cats
a
that
week.
It's like
never
a
stop
cat that
shitting.
goes past like 45 degrees and just falls out.
Can you just imagine like a gross like red like gaping kind of like butthole of a cat?
So why does pure breeding have like doesn't have like as pronounced effects on animals as like it does on like say humans. Because if like, humans were
it does.
purebred, they'd be like
It has,
inbred. They'd be
What are
like.
you talking
It
about?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
animals
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
seem
No,
to have as
what are you
much.
talking
Only a
about?
few
Animals are
purebred
inbred.
animals
We've
have
just
really
only
have a
seen the
lot of
last like
problems.
1,500 years of it, so it's taken
I
that long
guess.
to get to where
Every
they are.
purebred dog breed is completely
got a
fucked
lot
up.
of issues.
But the thing is, they
All
don't
of
have
them are
like
bad.
this. They're still just a dog, but it looks stupid. But if I make a baby with someone who I'm really close
No,
to
it
raised
doesn't
with,
just
it
look
can
stupid. They all have
they
like,
have mental
internal
problems and stuff. Yeah,
all,
but the
all
dogs
dogs
are.
do too. Lots of
Do
dogs,
they?
like pugs and stuff, the ones that get smushed in faces,
Yeah, they can't breathe.
literally can't breathe,
But that's
and
not.
they die.
But they're not like, duh, I'm stupid now.
Yeah, but that's not
But
necessarily
humans,
what
that's the
inbred
thing, I think it's like.
people
It's
are
like I know
either.
some guy who has a purebred pug. He brought him into the shop once, and he said, like, I was like, "Are there any problems with like this specific dog breed?" Because I know there's quite a bit. And he's like, "Yeah, he can't breathe. Like he has trouble
I
breathing."
think it's
a
just
lot
kind of.
of
It seems
Well,
like
exactly.
also
I have
the
to
number
mouth
of
to mouth
the number
every
of
4
years it
minutes.
had to
could
go
be
for
how-
dogs
it could be
before it
how-
got really bad.
how,
It was
like,
a lot longer than
developed
humans.
dogs' brains are relative to humans.
Maybe that
So it's
too.
just like their humans' abilities have higher
So
capabilities,
there's
and
more
so
room to go down.
Yeah, you wouldn't
Exactly.
notice if
Yeah.
a dog doesn't know how to speak
Because
properly.
all dogs
'Cause
are
dogs are
goddamn
They're
idiots.
dogs.
Yeah.
Whereas like
That's fair enough.
every purebred golden retriever basically has to have hip surgery when they
Yeah.
get old. 'cause
And
their
every
hips are
purebred
fucked.
boxer will not live past 6 years old.
Yeah, but
Because their
that's
heart explodes.
every purebred boxer of humans past 50.
That's true. But are there any purebred boxers yet?
Mike Tyson,
Roy
Roy
Jones
Jones Jr.
Well, yeah, but he doesn't talk properly, so.
Yeah,
And neither
yeah.
does Roy Jones Jr.
The only like boxer who can still
That's
speak
racist.
is basically George Foreman. Like all the others,
And
have
he sells you
basically
grills.
become- Yeah.
So, you know.
Isn't Roy Jones?
Oh yeah, I guess
Jr.
Roy
fine?
Jones Jr. He's probably okay. I don't know, but like all the old guys, you know, like Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali. Well, that's Parkinson's, so that.
Well, I mean,
Still,
that was
though,
also
getting
to
But
punched
he was
in the head
probably
is
yeah.
good
It
for
was-
it.
They're all
from getting punched
super
in the head
messed
a lot.
up.
Yeah,
Well,
Floyd
Parkinson's is
Mayweather.
genetic, so.
Yeah, Floyd Mayweather. He will be.
He's not even like messed up from like head injuries. He's just
Yeah,
like a
he's just
really
a messed
big
up guy.
Dumbo.
Bad person.
It's awful.
That too.
He's pretty ballsy though. That like he had that one fight against a guy who beat up his wife. So he's like, all the proceeds of this are going towards battered women and battered women charities. And then like a month later, he gets arrested for beating up his girlfriend. Just like wow, you.
He donated a thing to the thing.
Yeah, he
at
was
some
like-
point.
He donated
That's
a thing.
astonishing.
It was a long time. Well, the whole point was to embarrass his
The opponent, he was
Yeah,
like,
it
"Look
wasn't
how
about
bad
doing
guy."
something
It, was, so it
good.
wasn't
Yeah.
about altruism.
No,
it was
not
about,
at all.
It was about vindictiveness.
Yeah, 100%.
So okay.
When we said
Yeah.
battered women, it meant more like the fish.
Yeah.
Like, he wanted
Deep
people
fried.
to
Just
think
wanted
it was
some women
the-
like
There
just
is
covered
a
in
shelter
batter.
where Floyd Mayweather is from for temperate women.
Tempura is so good.
Yeah.
It is.
I don't like
I've
it.
never met a
Like
single person
yams,
that doesn't like
tempura
tempura
yams.
things.
Yeah, yams are yummy.
There are
Like
some
yams and
tempura things that I
carrots.
don't like, but like I like a lot of.
Oh,
There's only a
tempura
little bit, that's
broccoli
good.
is so good because it like gets
Yeah.
in the cracks of all like the broccoli things and it's just like
Makes
so
broccoli
crunchy
better
and
than
nice.
normal broccoli. Broccoli
Ugh.
smells like butts.
It
So
depends how much you
gross.
cook it. Al
Broccoli's
dente
really
broccoli
good.
is awesome. Cooked broccoli
Like lightly
is bad.
steamed broccoli is
Yeah.
amazing.
You only cook it a little
Yeah.
bit.
Like
Not
first
because
of
like I find if it gets too soft, it's just like. It's
Well, yeah,
really
that's why
boring.
that's what we're saying. You want a little bit of crispness in the stock and
Yeah.
everything, but you want it to
Okay.
be soft.
But
Well,
like
on
if
the
you
side
just
of
buy
raw,
like a
then on the
bag
side
of
of
broccoli from the
But
grocery store and open
raw
it up,
broccoli is amazing.
it smells like
Yeah.
poop
I
butt.
think I'd rather just have raw broccoli.
Well, they did have
raw
raw
broccoli's kind of
broccoli.
an
Like
ordeal to eat, though, right?
Yeah,
It's
it
like-
gets all in your mouth. Yeah.
it's all
I think we
nuggets.
talked about this on the previous podcast. They had actually a broccoli scented fucking those stink
Why don't we talk
blasters or
about
whatever.
Really?
Remember the stink blaster figurines? Those like
Brought up
the kids with like the
broccoli.
stupid heads that just smelled really
Oh, those
horrible.
are-
I
Oh,
wasn't
yeah,
at the
it's
last
like-
podcast.
Yeah, broccoli was
No,
one of
you
them. And
brought it up
cauliflower
just
was
now.
another
Oh
one.
no, I was saying like when do we ever bring up broccoli? Like
Oh,
he was
when
saying we
do.
talked about it
Oh.
before.
Oh,
That's what I
talking about
meant.
the stink
It was,
blasters.
it was on one of our broccoli conversations. The,
Broccoli
the
cast.
Yeah,
yeah.
The broadcast.
Yeah, well, this is gonna be the veggie cast. We're gonna talk about the vegetables.
Yo, Veggie
Okay.
Tales, hype shit.
That shit is-
Oh, speaking of vegetables and also cats, which we were talking about before, I just
Wow.
adopted 6 cats.
Why?
I didn't
More
want
than
to.
me now.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Well, my family
You have
did.
like an illegal amount of cats
Yeah,
now.
no, it's because we we fostered, not even adopted.
So it's like
Fostered.
it's like supposed to be on a temporary basis.
Yes, it's
Do you
supposed
get
to be.
food stamps for having all these cats, or like
I
cat smart
hope, yeah.
stamps?
No, it's just assisting, like that's PCA or wherever you fostered
Yeah,
them from.
pretty much.
We do that with greyhounds.
It's volunteer.
Okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
so we got this cat named Pickles, which is actually kind of a cool name. And Pickles just had a bunch of kids, and so
Kittens.
kittens, yeah.
No,
yeah,
human
humans,
children.
yeah.
Wait, so do you have more cats now?
So I had 2 to begin with. Now we have Pickles, which is the 3rd, and she has 5 kittens, so we have
Yeah.
8.
Okay.
And the kittens suck because they're kittens and they're dumb, but
What?
they're really
They're so
Yeah,
cute.
they are cute. But
Why are
they're
they
all
dumb?
named the worst things ever. They came to us named Carrot and Potato
Oh no.
Oh,
and
no.
Beets. Pearl.
Yo, that's a dope name for a cat.
Yo, Beats, get over here.
Yo,
Beats.
Yeah, Beats.
Okay.
And then two others, and I don't
Potato's
remember.
bad.
And the two others are even worse, but I don't remember what they are.
Yo, that.
So I'm trying to rename them
Yo,
and get
Beats
them.
the cat. You gotta look Beats the cat. He's gonna walk in with
Beats is
shades, like a
dope.
sideways snapback,
Yeah,
like a
Beats.
Why not
chain.
Fritz?
Like,
Change him to
No,
Fritz.
you see, he's just
Fritz
got headphones all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
Beat
exactly.
from Jet Set Radio.
So I've already managed to change two of them, because one of them is little and black, and it's the only one that's little and black. Well, they're all little, but it's the only little black one, so it's Gary Coleman. And then we just get to call it Gary, because Gary's a sweet name for a cat. Just be
you
like,
should
hi,
go with
Gary.
Cecil.
Cecil, that's
Cecil's a dope cat name.
But then because of that, it was suggested that we name all of them like typical black names. It's like,
The bad
Tyrone,
suggestion.
Darius.
but then one of them's
Gary,
blonde.
Larry,
And so we were
Larry.
like, what's a black guy who's also blonde? So I suggested Cisco.
That's good.
My family didn't know who Cisco
Aw.
was. And then there was an old wrestler in the WWE like way years ago named Sweet Daddy Zeke who had the same features.
Zeke.
So now it's Sweet Daddy.
Yeah, I thought Zeke also
Yeah, I thought
would fit
Zeke
the
as well,
go-to.
Yeah, but can you imagine
Sweet
yelling
Daddy.
out your porch like, Sweet Daddy! Get over here, Sweet Daddy!
They're gonna think you're a prostitute.
That's literally a scene from the Boondocks. No, but like that's what it sounds
Yeah,
like.
totally. So I kind of want to keep Gary and Sweet Daddy now, but we can give away all the rest. I don't care. Maybe Beats. Beats can stay.
Should I take
Although
one?
Beats might have been one of
I
those
should.
too.
Should you take one? We have
You want a friend
adopt
for
cat?
Folly?
I really want a kitten, but not until my mom moves out.
Cats are such a fucking pain.
Till your mom moves out.
Your mom's
She's moving out.
Get out. I want to get
Mom, you stupid bitch. I want to kid
You should name
you.
the cat Mom.
No,
Get
she's
out
moving,
of
she's
my
moving to Montana.
house.
I get the house, so she's moving out.
Is it like all paid off and shit?
No. Well, no, it's technically paid off.
Like the mortgage, you just have to pay for utilities and shit.
Well, she has like a home equity loan on it, so she pays like
that's not
she
good.
just pays the interest, so she pays like $400 a month.
That's really fiscally irresponsible.
Yeah.
I
That's
understand where you get it
from.
now.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but
It's
what I
alright, you
did.
can handle it. Yeah.
No, she makes over like payments over on it, but like over the interest, like so she pays like $750 a month instead of $400 or some shit. And I'm just gonna be paying that plus extra for rent and bullshit like that. So like. At the end of the day, it's only like $12.50 a month, and then I pay utilities, and my other two roommates.
And
are
you can
just
charge
gonna
the
pay
cat's
A lot of
rent.
money.
Well, it's gonna have roommates too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
Charge
my
the
point.
cats.
I don't make that much money.
Oh, we should make a cat cast.
We
Like
shouldn't.
Yeah,
6
we'll all
cats
bring our cats.
strapped to like chairs that just meow 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 meow.
Great idea.
Okay, it'll get way more views than anything we
Probably
can do.
true, yeah.
Come on.
We get like millions of views. People will be like, look at this podcast completely consisting of cats. It'll be a BuzzFeed article.
It's like 2 hours of
Yeah.
just.
Yeah, if we can go big on BuzzFeed, like
Yeah,
that'll
it'll
be the
some
biggest
guys
thing that
brought
will ever
cats
happen
together,
to us.
and the result is amazing.
The reaction is priceless.
You
We'll
won't believe
just not a
what the
voice
sixth
over
cat
them.
does.
Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll replace
yeah,
all our
voiceover
footage
cats.
with the voiceover of cats, just cutting between them, and then people won't know.
But that means your
People
cat has
think
to
the cats
kinda
can
go down
speak.
And
No, we
stuff.
just
Well,
put like speech bubbles.
It'd be like
Oh,
Homer
okay,
Bound.
speech bubbles would work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what
Homer
we would
Bound.
do
It's
with
like a
Japanese
cat
podcasts.
sitting there and we'll just talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They did. Yeah, Homeward Bound 2: The Amazing Journey. Is that what it is?
I don't know, but San
Sounds
Francisco
right.
Or Back to San Francisco.
Wait, isn't
We're
it
two-
an unexpected journey?
was the first
That's
one.
Hobbit.
Oh,
I don't know. Homer Bound was terrible.
But Homeward Bound 2 was the San Francisco one.
Yeah,
Lost in San Francisco.
yeah.
It was like Home Alone.
It was
Yeah.
horrible.
I also just watched the Breakfast Club yesterday.
For the first
It's
time.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have been
It
way
is
better
very
if we
cheesy.
lived
The
in that
ending
time.
is so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Totally.
80s, right?
Yeah.
But
Very
like,
80s.
by our standards today, it's
Good.
not great. But
I
back
know.
then, it was like a groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And
movie.
the
I
whole
know,
like
I know.
smoke up Johnny scene
Yeah,
where it's
exactly.
supposed to be like
Exactly.
yeah,
You know what I
heart-wrenching
got
and
for
stuff.
Christmas?
Yeah.
It was a banner year at the Bender household. My dad, he grabbed me and said, "Hey, smoke up, Johnny." No, Dad, what about you?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, by today's standards,
Yeah.
it's kind
And
of
now
shit.
it's like
But
Yeah.
back then, it was great.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
it's
it's
fine.
because we've kind of like
It
reused
is
the
okay
dialogue
still.
for
Yeah.
decades
Well, it's
now.
just like the
Kids are just different now,
The
too.
basket
It's like-
case girl is like, "Hey,
Yeah.
look, she's cute now."
Like
Yeah.
nowadays,
I
it
know.
would be
And
like,
it's like
I know.
It's kind of supposed to indicate that like the kids are just shitty still because it's like they didn't learn anything.
Yeah.
It's like now that you're cute, we can date.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
pretty
know.
much.
Is
I
that the
remember
message that was
being
supposed to
weird.
be given, or is it just
Yeah,
like
it's that
That's just what you took out of it.
Yeah,
That's all.
No, it is.
Yeah.
It is. It was really like
it's for this
stupid.
one
Yeah,
day
I
they
think
were
it's
able
really
to-
It ended
stupid.
the
I
same
don't
way
think
most
that's
high
message.
school
I
movies
think
end.
for sure
Like-
that the point of it is definitely like, oh look, for this one day they realized like, hey, we're not totally different. Like we could totally do
Yeah.
this, but then it's
Yeah.
like, oh wait, no, we totally can't. We can for right now, but we're definitely not.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Breakfast Club,
okay, that's
Grease,
true, yeah.
16 Candles, all those movies like change yourself so you can be popular and fit in with people.
Yeah.
Well, but that's a good message.
Yeah, exactly right.
That would benefit a lot of people.
Yeah, let's be honest. Like, you could either be weird,
Life
or be an
is
outcast.
better.
There are
That's
too
not
many.
yourself.
There are too many movies that say like "be yourself." It's like
Yeah.
fuck that. Who
If
does
yourself
There's a
sucks,
lot of
don't be it.
psychopath
Yeah.
killers
If
who
yourself
were
is
being
good, then
themselves
yeah,
for
be
too
it.
long. Nobody liked them.
Yeah.
Now look, they're killing people.
Exactly.
They should have just changed.
And if they changed, suddenly they'd be happy and then they wouldn't kill people.
I think the what's the director's name again from Breakfast
M.
Club?
Night Shyamalan.
Not quite. I knew it. I
John something.
Stamos.
Updike.
Malcolm? No.
No.
John
No, it's not John Malkovich.
That would not be as good a movie if John Malkovich.
John Dodon.
He directed Home Alone, didn't he? John Hughes.
Yes,
John
you're
John
totally
Cusack.
correct.
So the one movie that I think I can tolerate by him is Weird Science.
Weird Science is great.
I know
never
it's
seen it.
so
Weird
so
Science
nutty.
rules.
Like it's pretty
It's,
crazy.
it's one of those movies where like there's no like logic.
There's
to
no
it.
message.
It's just stupid.
It's not like
It's
a
mindless bullshit for like,
Yeah.
an hour and a half.
and it's great.
Yeah, it's
like
awesome.
it's totally good.
Love that movie.
Whoa, the guy who played John Bender looks fucking crazy now.
Because it's probably crazy.
Yeah, man.
What's his name?
What's his
Smoked
name
up.
again?
Judd Nelson?
John Nelson. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at him right there.
Ew.
What?
He's a goof.
What has he been in since then?
Yeah, I don't know. His name is really familiar.
He didn't really grow into his face.
No. Bizarrely.
What's his face? The
Yeah,
kid from AI.
Oh, Haley Joel Osment. Yeah, now
he
he's
did-
fat.
Yeah, he didn't grow into his. Well, his face kind of grew around his face.
His body kind of grew around his face.
Yeah,
Exactly.
his face is
He's
exactly
like
the
he's
same.
like a tree.
He was in
His face
he
it.
was in Tusk, which was a terrible movie.
Yeah, I heard it was bad.
I saw it in theaters, like with like
I was
5
kinda
other
stoked
people.
to see it, and then I heard it was
I
terrible.
know. I thought it was like, all right, it could be cool, but no, it was terrible. Like it was like so unenjoyable.
You know who I think looks weird? Because there's Josh Peck, right? Because he was the
Yeah.
fat kid or whatever.
And now he's
then
like muscular.
he got skinny, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's hot now."
No, he still has a weird
yeah,
face.
and I was like, he totally looks weird.
He's got a
He
fat
looks-
face.
Yeah,
He's
he
got a
looks
fat
like
face,
he
but
was
he's
hair
skinny.
lipped as a baby.
Yeah,
That's what
wait,
he looks
is
like.
this the
Yeah.
guy from Drake and Josh?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he
Okay,
looks way
yeah.
better than he did back then. That's obvious, but he still looks really strange. And like looking at him for a
Yeah.
bit makes me go, "Ooh."
Because he's got a weird face.
Yeah.
It's all about comparison, honestly.
Yeah.
Hey,
What does
maybe,
Drake
but
Bell look
still,
like
he
these
does-
days?
he looks
Probably
fine.
the same, just like
Yeah.
mentally.
I know that he's
Honestly,
like a
that's
bad
different.
person, but
Isn't,
I don't know.
isn't he the
yeah.
guy who just is constantly ragging on Justin Bieber on Twitter?
Yeah, he's ragging on
He
a lot
rags
of
on
people.
everybody. And
One of the two of them
A
is just
lot
like
of
a real dick to like everybody on Twitter.
That's Drake.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
definitely
yeah.
Drake Bell. Yeah.
Well, his name is Drake.
Hey, whatever.
He's
Fuck you, Drake.
YOLO.
Busy.
I finally watched Leon the Professional. And it was
It's a
really, really
great
good.
movie. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's weird thinking like, well, I haven't seen Lucy, but Nick has told me so much about Lucy that it's like seems
Is Lucy
so.
the one with like Awaken Your Mind?
It's Scarlett Johansson.
yeah,
and
exactly.
we don't use
10% of your brain.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
And
Absolutely
at the
trash.
end, she turns into a USB
She
stick
she turns into a USB stick at the end of the movie.
because she like she gains like godlike power.
Yeah, she because at the end she like takes all the shit and is like "Rah!" at the very end, and she like disappears, and then Morgan Freeman's like, "Where'd you go?" And he gets a text message. She's like, "I'm everywhere." And then there's like this black goop that comes out of all the computers and it turns into this pillar, and there's like the galaxy in it, and then this USB stick comes out, and they're like, "This is all the knowledge of everybody ever." They just put it in the computer, and that's the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you fucking
Yeah,
kidding
that-
me?"
Yeah, that was Luke Besson who directed Leon
Yeah,
the
it was a
Professional.
horrible
which
movie.
is really, really good. Really, really
Yeah, no,
good.
Leon the Professional is great. Such a good movie.
What's it
Anybody
about?
seen it?
It's
No.
Natalie Portman and that French dude.
John
Oh,
Reno.
It's
Yeah.
weird that
It's
someone
about
can
an
have
assassin,
a horrible
like
movie
this-
and a good movie.
It's about this
That's
guy
not
who's
too
like
weird.
a,
M. Night
and then
Shyamalan
he
is a
saves
good
this
example
girl.
of that. We all
I
agree.
guess.
Sixth
Although
Sense
at this
is
point,
good.
his like good
Unbreakable
ones
is
are
good.
totally.
Unbreakable was
I
very
think
good.
Robert Zemeckis.
Unbreakable's not that
Robert
great,
Zemeckis,
though.
yes, he has
He did
some
Back to the
really good
Future,
movies.
which is amazing.
Polar Express.
Polar
I
Express?
hate Polar Express.
Why?
I
I don't
it's
know.
supposed to be okay.
Like
isn't
I
it?
liked. I thought I liked it when I first watched it. Then I was like, I really dislike so many things about this
gotta
movie.
be
I got
kids
bored of
movie,
it,
Well,
but I
'cause
mean,
it's one of the
as a
few
kid.
movies that was like live action and transposed into
Yeah, like
animation,
Beowulf.
wasn't it? Yeah.
He did a lot of those movies.
Wait,
All
did
those like
Robert
mocap
Zemeckis do-
movies. Like he
yeah,
did
Beowulf?
Christmas Carol. He did Beowulf.
I didn't see Christmas Carol. I liked Beowulf. I thought it
I
was
never
dumb,
saw
but I
Beowulf
liked
was
it.
okay.
It was
I
dumb,
watched
but I
like
enjoyed
half
it.
of it.
Yeah.
I don't
Then I got
remember
bored.
enough about it. I watched it on a plane, I think.
Yeah.
And
It
there
is
was,
tedious.
there was like another movie like that too with the mocap. I forget what one it was.
Yeah, whatever.
But yeah, Robert Zemeckis has had some. I admit I liked The Terminal. Most people.
Terminal
don't.
was really good. I liked the Terminal.
It
Is
is
that the
like
Tom Hanks
it is
one?
like
Yeah.
overly sentimental, but I
Tim
liked
Hanks?
it.
I liked it a
But
lot.
I don't think that it's
Yeah,
like a
Tim
very
Hanks.
legitimate liking it. But yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's a
What
pretty
is
good
it who
movie.
drew Tom Hanks really horribly
Nick.
the other day?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
it's stupid.
The box of cocoa.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
He got. We were playing
Drawful.
Drawful, and he got the prompt draw Tom Hanks. So he drew Forrest Gump giving
His
chocolate
sick mom.
to a lady lying in bed.
But it wasn't a box of ice. He just wrote cocoa on it.
But he wrote it COCO, which didn't
It's
imply,
cocaine.
yeah, it implied
So,
cocaine or
one,
something.
it's not chocolate, it's cocoa. And
Yeah.
two, he never gives his mom chocolates while
Yeah.
she's sick in bed. Like,
No,
so
that
everything about the drawing was
Well,
totally
it was
wrong.
totally incomprehensible that it was
Yeah.
Forrest
There was
Gump
just like
and
a
his mom.
shit ton of stuff.
It was
Hey,
just
you
a
could've
guy,
like
a woman,
bench
and
and like an
cocoa.
arrow pointing at him. On
Yeah,
the
but
bench.
he didn't do that because for some reason he thought, oh yeah,
Imagine
Forrest
the
totally
scene.
gives his mom
Yeah.
chocolates in this one scene, and we'll know
Or like
that.
Castaway and draw Wilson is what I
Yeah.
said we should have done, but yeah.
There are
Better
I
than
think
what
there
I
were
said.
Tried to
numerous
draw him.
superior
Probably.
alternatives to what he
And
drew.
I mean, it's not an easy prompt, but damn,
No,
that's
but
like the
he-
worst way to go
could've
about
That was
it.
that one that
You could've
I
done
had
better
that was
in many
really,
ways.
really terrible that I couldn't do that I just gave up on.
Probably like all of them.
It was like this or that or like thumb or something stupid. I just couldn't do it.
Oh, I do remember you did get like a really weird, just like
It was just two words
it
that
was-
didn't
it-
actually
it
make
actually was
sense.
something like thumb. Or,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, it was really weird.
If I drew a thumb, I would have done Spy Kids, but it wasn't
Thumb
thumb. I know that
Yo,
for a
Spy
fact.
Kids is a great movie.
Spy Kids is a good movie. I think
The
it's a
first one.
genuinely
Is
good
it
movie. The
actually
first
good?
one,
I
yes.
saw it when I was a kid.
Yeah,
it was
going
good when I
back
was a
and
kid.
watching it, it's terrible for
No,
us now.
I don't think so. I think it's still. It's like
I watched Spy
here.
Kids
There's
game
another
over,
director
okay,
that makes some good
no.
They
movies.
had
some
classic
bad
humor
movies.
like shit,
That's,
chalky mushrooms and
That
stuff.
was the second one.
Oh,
The first one they
second
didn't do that.
No,
bad.
Shiitake Mushrooms was the first one.
No, that was the
It
second
was
one.
the first one.
But I mean,
I remember it was
it's
I
like-
got
thought it was the first
beef.
one.
Turn the
Maybe
podcast
maybe
off.
maybe
Let's
it
watch
was
it right
both,
now.
but I know it was in the second
Like,
one.
it was
so
a
it was in
bigger
both
thing in
then,
the
yeah.
second one. I mean, it's got Danny
You know, maybe it
Trejo
was-
and
it was a
Antonio
big-
I know it was
Banderas.
also in the second one.
Like,
Oh,
how
yeah.
could that not be a good movie?
Okay, it was in both. You're probably right.
And I mean, Alan Cumming is great as Floop, so
Yeah, okay,
He's
the
a
first one,
madman.
because like,
Yeah.
um,
Help us save
the
us.
director, Robert Rodriguez, he's directed some great movies and some
Machete
shitty
Kills.
movies, and like,
Machete Kills.
and Sin City. He directed most of Sin City, which is
He was
awesome. I
he
love
was
Sin
also
City.
in Predators. Good movie.
I liked Predators, the remake or the reboot, I guess, with Adrian
Yeah.
Brody.
Yeah, where they were like multiple.
They were
yeah,
on
like,
the Predator
yeah,
planet,
they were
the hunting
teleported
planet.
to
Yeah,
the planet,
I enjoyed it.
That was a good movie.
Shiitake Mushrooms was in the first one.
and the second one.
I believe that it's in the
It
second one.
originated in the first.
I know.
Yeah.
I conceded that he was probably right that it was in both.
Which one was the
Or
one
at
where they're in
least
the
the first
room and they can't talk but they can hear each other's thoughts? It was definitely in
That was
one.
the second one.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was also in the second one for sure.
I don't remember what
No.
the second one was about.
The Island of Lost
Dreams.
Dreams.
Spy Kids.
Wow.
Kids who spy.
It's the one with Steve Buscemi
Yep.
that he creates monsters.
Yeah, he makes the monsters on the island and then weird
Stuff
kind of
happens.
Spy Kids 3D had the worst 3D of
It was
all
terrible.
time.
It
It
was
was
so
so
good.
good.
Like,
I
the
took
blue
off my
hand
glasses.
I have
like-
the movie on DVD.
Oh,
Horrible.
It had Sylvester Stallone and Ricardo Montalban as opposing forces.
Ricardo Montalban?
Yeah, he's the grandfather to the Spy Kids.
Yes.
Whoa.
But you guys, don't you guys remember the fourth one with the smell cards?
No, I never watched the
We
fourth
already
one.
brought, I already brought that
You
up
went,
in
you
a
went to
previous
Yeah, there's a
the, you went to
fourth
the I was working in the theater when it happened. They had like little cards with like things that you scratched
Yeah,
to
the fourth
smell
one
what was
came out
happening in the movie.
Yeah, man.
I never
The
went
fourth
to
one
it,
came
but I
out
remember
like
it.
3 years.
It was
ago.
Yeah,
In the last 5 years
Yeah.
was the fourth
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
So there was a
Yeah.
big block of time
Between the Spy Kids 3D, which was like 2004 probably.
Yeah, it was. I watched it when I was like in the States, which was.
I watched it in theaters, man.
3D.
Yeah, one of my friends at the time wanted to go see it.
And you like the part where Alexa Vega goes.
Yeah, we were all like,
Nick.
oh,
Don't they also have a
Yeah,
scene where they go,
I'm
whoa,
over
and the
it. Like,
popcorn
Yes,
flies at you?
yes,
and-
we definitely talked about
Yo.
that extensively on the podcast.
So
Hi,
I just,
Nick. We're talking about Spy Kids.
yeah, I just looked
Yeah,
up.
I used to be. Me and my sister used to be called Spy Kids.
Yeah, man, the first one's great. Well,
I-
you're totally Judy.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
He's
am.
Judy.
And then she's like, she's the girl.
You can sit down.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can just sit on the
I
couch.
could put the chair there if you
No,
want.
No, maybe
Yeah, we
you
don't
shut
want
the
that chair.
Like a nice
Yeah, I looked it up.
here.
Fred 2, Night of the Living Fred, is the movie where
Sick
so
reference.
he has to prove that his music teacher is a vampire with the help of his dad, John Cena.
That sounds great.
That is
I would
so-
Is that
love
that
to
game
watch
we played
that.
the Flash
No,
game?
that's a movie.
It sounds
that
good.
actually exists.
I would not watch that.
I would watch it.
I know
just for the
the
sake
the
of
worst
being-
part would be just Fred's voice.
Let's, and
exists.
we should
So I'm
also
gonna
watch Smosh the movie.
No,
They made a
please.
movie?
get-
Yeah,
they're
they're
making one.
and it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
it's like
God.
it's
Is
supposed
it
to
like
be
a
like
2-hour
big.
feature? Or
And
Honestly,
it's like
it's probably just really plain compared to. I think the Ray William Johnson movie would be way worse and more
yeah,
entertaining.
oh yeah, because it takes
Is
itself
that
Smosh
very
movies,
seriously.
yeah, Smosh movies are going to be a little bit just goofy.
They're a little
It'll
more
just be kinda
self-aware, I
boring.
guess.
Yeah, it'll
Well,
just be not.
yeah.
It won't be cringy enough to be funny.
I mean,
But
I've
the Ray
seen
William
some-
Johnson movie will be very cringy.
Yeah, that-
and that's
that
been
one
out for a
through a
long
time
time.
machine?
And that
Yeah.
is one of the highest
Riley
IMDb
Rewind.
ratings
Yeah,
of
Riley
any
Rewind,
movie.
yeah.
What?
The Ray William Johnson movie. It's
But
called
it's not
Riley
out.
Riley
Rewind.
Rewind, yeah.
No,
Yeah,
it's
it's
out.
been out, and
It's-
it's
oh,
and
really?
it's
For
atrocious,
years,
but it
yeah.
has one of the highest IMDb
I remember. I
user
think we watched the
ratings.
trailer. And then it's just like, oh, I'm rewinding. Oh, now I'm getting.
Now
oh,
there's
now
a bomb!
Yeah,
There's
there's
a
a
bomb!
It's
It's
like
a
suddenly
school!
there's terrorists and pirates and maybe pirates.
Pirates?
There's a lot
No.
of plot.
It's a
all
One Piece
serious.
crossover, actually.
It doesn't make any sense.
It becomes animated when you go back in time far enough.
Dude.
One movie
let's do
that I saw as a kid, I don't know if you guys remember this, but like when I saw it probably 3 times, and I don't remember a single fucking thing about it. I think it was called Dinosaurs.
Dinosaur. Yeah, I remember.
It
was an animated movie from like 1999. It had like
it came out in 2000.
okay, but it had really good. But it had really good CG.
Yo, I had that.
And it was like
movie
had
on VHS.
Like, and they were
I had all the hand puppets from McDonald's.
Yes!
We would fight with them all the time. It was the best.
Except they were the worst because they didn't actually move very much. They were
Yeah,
so rigid.
so we
and
just
they-
punch
they
each other
were-
in the
they were
hands.
very
with
rigid.
them.
Yeah! I'm so glad everyone
excited.
remembers this. I
Yeah.
saw it 3 times in theaters, and I think it was about some dinosaurs trying to find water.
Yeah.
Yes!
We already made this joke.
Yeah.
Except the main character isn't a dinosaur; it's the monkey thing.
No,
Not the main character.
No, the main character is
The main character is like a
character's
brontosaurus or
No,
something.
he's a Myosaur.
Is there any pop?
But there's
Well,
a scene when
yeah,
the
there's
gotta be a
Bob.
Mountain Dew,
he's
bro.
being born, isn't there?
There are
Like
monkeys.
the lemurs.
No, there are
monkeys.
lemurs, but they're not the main characters. They're
Okay.
ancillary characters.
Yeah, yeah.
There's an Apatosaurus, a Myosaur, the
Oh my
lemurs, and
God,
like,
Connor,
a
how do you know
Triceratops.
so
And then the
much?
3 main characters, and then there's the Carnosaurs that are hunting them down the whole time, with help from the Allosaurus and the Velociraptor.
Oh my god!
Dude, don't fuck with me about dinosaurs, okay?
Or specifically dinosaurs.
Dinosaur in the movie. I still got the puppets. I still got them.
You know, I still don't remember whether they just had like photorealistic CG or they just had a lot of like sweeping shots of just like big forests.
I think
They-
that was
I
think
probably
they must
it.
have.
Did you want
But they
one?
had
Yeah,
really
that'd be-
beautiful
oh, okay.
CG of like
How
the
far
deserts
away?
and the forests,
Well-
and then like the
Probably
actual,
40 minutes,
well,
I
for the
don't
time.
Beautiful for 2000.
No,
Well,
it was.
but no,
It's,
like,
like
for
looking
the
back on a
landscapes, it
VHS,
was
it still
great.
seemed like photorealistic.
Yeah, the landscapes were great. And
Not the
then-
dinosaurs.
The dinosaurs, but the dinosaurs were like revolutionary at the time.
Well, I know, but the nature
Yeah.
is what looked really good in the movie.
Yeah, no, the
I
landscapes
recall.
were
amazing.
Like I really could not tell if it was CG or
But
not.
you were also a child.
No, like watching, I watched it like probably 6 years ago.
You were still a child.
Yeah, he's still a child.
You were 14.
Yeah, but I had an
Arguably,
entire
you're already
14 in 2000. He was 14.
No, 14, 6 years ago.
Okay.
In 2000.
Yeah.
It's 2006 right now.
It's only 2006.
My main point.
We went back in time, but there's a bomb. There's a bomb. There's a bomb.
My main point of bringing that up was saying that like I saw it 3 times because 3 different babysitters didn't think we had seen it, and my sister wanted to see it, but I didn't like it because I don't usually like dinosaur movies. Like I
dare
don't,
you. Yeah,
I don't like A
ooh.
Land Before Time.
Yo.
Oh,
Yo.
I've never
okay.
seen
Yo.
Jurassic Park.
understandable because the thing about Dinosaur is that it's a completely memorable movie. There's nothing.
There's
like,
nothing
the plot is
nothing
boring.
Oh, yeah,
spectacular.
I think it's pretty memorable. He just told us the whole plot.
Yeah, the
And
ring
every
puppets.
character and the head puppets that are.
Yeah.
Literally,
You know,
all I
somebody-
remember about it
you know-
is that they have to go get water, and there's a scene where they like use their feet to push on the
ground, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that- I
it
remember that
and
too.
the water
It was-
bubbles up, and then it's like, oh no, the water's not bubbling
Oh,
up.
that
What do we
camera,
do? And it's like that's literally.
Wasn't
all I
that the
remember.
turning point though, where they were
Yes.
like, "Oh, the water's here. This is like because they down in the desert. They were like, there's supposed to be water here, and then they jumped down on it. They were like, oh my god, there's water.
Yeah.
It's like holes when they find the boat.
Yeah, it's like exactly like holes.
It's
good.
literally
No,
holes.
It's holes.
was not a good
One of the
movie.
people,
Yeah.
one of the dinosaurs was
Okay.
actually voiced by Shia LaBeouf.
We've had this
I
discussion
know,
before.
but and I will defend the death.
Holes was very
Shia
good.
Holes
LaBeouf,
was okay.
That was his prime.
No, Even Stevens is still his prime. He was
was
still
at
I
the
liked
same
Holes.
time.
Holes was
Yeah,
good.
Holes was
I like
right
Holes.
after Even Stevens.
Transformers
Yeah,
1
concurrent, wasn't it?
I don't think so.
and Transformers
Because
2
they did-
No, Transformers 2 was trash.
and Transformers 3.
Everything
All
about
of
Transformers.
Transformers were all
Transformers
bad.
1 was good.
I felt like I swear to God, I felt like I was the
It was
only
the
person
best
in my
of
entire
them.
It was
school
the best
that
of them
watched
because it like it was the novelty and then it was done. But
Yeah.
then they had the second
Well,
and
and
the third.
the thing about Transformers that I was trying to remember is when I first saw it, I was like, holy shit, the spectacle of this movie is amazing. Like, the
They
But
Yeah,
it's
it
not
has
because-
good effects.
It's not though because it's incomprehensible. It's visual noise. You
Yeah.
literally can't tell
But
who is
back-
who, and it's just whirling. metal.
Exactly, but back when I first watched it, it was amazing to me.
I like the way you say it though. The spectacle of this is amazing. When really you're just like, well, blown up robots.
Well, yeah,
Like,
but back when I
That's
was
a
like, what,
spectacle.
I mean, that
13,
is
14 when it came out, it was
I
like,
guess.
wow, this is
That
really
was the
cool.
word I used when Mad Max. Mad Max. I
Yeah,
thought
Yeah, but
that
you
was a
use that word
spectacle.
now. Back then, you would just be like, oh.
I watched the one with Mark Wahlberg. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Like so
I
bad.
really want to watch.
That was
it.
the one
has that
everybody thought
comedian
had
in it.
robot dinosaurs.
It does have robot dinosaurs.
for 4 minutes.
yeah,
maybe.
for like literally just the end. And then
Like,
they just leave.
The second one, yeah.
I feel like let's
No,
call
the
some
fourth one.
backup, and they're like, let's call the dinosaurs.
T.J. Miller is at the Transformers.
That's who it
too.
is. Yeah.
I really want to watch it though because apparently Mark Wahlberg and who's
The
who's
Funky
his
Bunch.
daughter.
Some random bitch.
Some
Yeah, but
blonde
apparently,
bitch.
Funky
apparently
Bunch is his
when you
daughter,
watch
yeah.
it, there's like really weird sexual
Yeah, there
tension
is.
between
It's
them.
really uncomfortable.
It's
And
incredibly
she's his
uncomfortable.
daughter in the movie, but in real life, they're probably boning in his trailer. Or
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
right? So it's just
Well,
like
'cause-
apparently it's like very noticeable and very
Well,
like.
because in the movie she plays like a 19-year-old daughter to this wacky mechanic guy, but in the real world she's like 26, and he's like
And
in his
he's
40s,
hot,
and
and
it
he's
was really
Mark
fucked for
Wahlberg,
real
yeah.
life. Yeah. So yeah, it's weirdly uncomfortable.
Mark Wahlberg, you have to let us know if you were fucking her.
everybody wants a
If you
piece
watch
of the
this.
Wahlberg.
What's the Marky Mark? Don't blind me with a cane.
I'm an Asian elderly man.
I'll suck your dick if you don't blind me.
So when's season 2 of Daredevil coming out?
Next year.
2016, baby.
Can't wait that long.
I can't wait that long.
I'm gonna ride
I did like the new trailer for Batman vs Superman.
I like the
I will
trailer, too.
admittedly say I'm definitely far more interested in that movie than any other superhero movie.
I still haven't seen Avengers
actually.
2.
I didn't actually watch the trailer, but I know the plot itself just sounds more.
I just saw the
interesting
one
and
shot
thought
where it's like
than-
Zod in the building, and then you see
Batman
Bruce Wayne
outside the building.
watching
And see
them
it. I thought
grow
that
up.
was pretty cool.
No, it looks dope. It looks
Yeah.
really, really cool. But the
So
thing
did
is,
Man of Steel.
Exactly.
So Man of
Zack
Steel
Snyder
looked
does
cool. So we don't know.
trailers.
We won't know.
I haven't seen Man of
amazing
Steel yet.
at
I
making
need
trailers.
to.
All his
Yeah.
trailers, like Sucker Punch, was
Yeah.
really good.
Oh yeah.
Zack Snyder has an amazing sense of style, and that's
Yeah.
so like he's
Like the first teaser
watch
trailer
it,
for Man of
amazing.
Steel
The
was
trailer for Sucker
Yeah.
Punch didn't look good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we all thought
just
Man
went
of
to
Steel
the
was
show,
really
and
good.
it turned out being a
300
good
as well
movie.
also had
Yeah.
a really good because it looks like very like comic booky in,
Yeah.
in the trailers. But
So-
they've got
I thought
good
300 was a
sense
great
of
movie
style.
overall.
I love 300.
Yeah,
I
I
don't care.
didn't. I thought it was
I still haven't
boring.
seen it.
Oh, I love the
300
shit out of
is
it.
I remember
fine.
being really
It's-
disappointed that the
there's
I know
nothing
it's not
great
bad.
about it.
Like Sucker Punch is like
Oh,
bad.
no.
Sucker Punch
Yeah.
was a good movie.
No.
No.
Lady or like that.
I liked it.
It was
I
needlessly
watched-
convoluted.
I
I
watched it the second
it
time
was,
and
but
then-
the thing is, when I saw the
You did?
trailer, I was like, oh, this
Yeah,
is
I
just
didn't like
this
it
is
the
just
second time.
boobs.
Well,
guns,
no,
and-
because it's like none of the movie has any.
and
like,
then
weight,
like when I
because it's
saw
all
it,
what-
it was
is
like
this
actually
real?
this
This is
legitimately
real.
had a plot. Like
I read a
was my
thing, somebody
expectations
wrote
were
about
low.
how
That was
like
why.
how you missed the point of what's going on, and it's like about how I can't even remember at this point, but it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. It's still not a very good movie.
Yeah.
Like if you have to read like a 2-page dissertation about,
Then that means you're not smart.
yeah, exactly. I'm not smart.
I'm too. If
Well,
I'm too
that
dumb
was-
for
that
Sucker
was like
Punch,
Now You See
it's
Me.
holy shit, kill me now.
People didn't understand the ending of Now You See Me, so they thought it was an amazing movie, but because they didn't understand it, they were like, "Oh, it's so deep, it's so much more than me, therefore it's such a good movie."
like
It was
Donnie
shit.
Darko.
It had the worst ending in the entire world. It
Now
was
you see
terrible.
me? The
Yeah.
one that just get on the carousel and like, yo, Mark Ruffalo, bye.
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah,
horrible.
it was terrible. They're like, "Yo, actually,
Yeah,
all
never
the
saw
magic in the entire movie was real," and you're sitting there going, "Like, what the fuck?"
Yeah, I watched that movie and like
Yeah, oh,
as
yeah,
soon
welcome-
as that happened, I was like,
They're
I
making
hate
a
this
second
movie.
one, eh? And it's like, yo, welcome to the Secret Society of Mark Ruffalo, magician.
Yeah, that's what it was. That was the worst part. He's just like, oh, I'm the leader of this whole thing. And he's like, yeah, the whole club's me.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are in.
Is that the one where they're like stealing money and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we're
saw
doing
trailers for that.
And
Yeah,
like,
I
I
kinda
don't
looked
doing
over
it.
The whole
I
thing
thought it
is
looked
spoilers.
It kind of really does.
I feel
fuck
like we
up
have
the
to
story,
spoil
yeah.
because I hated this movie so much.
It was terrible.
Because it was neat for like
There were
some
parts of it where I
yeah.
was like, hey, that's
There
cool.
were
I
trailers
literally
that
only
they were
want
able
to
to
go
see
watch
the
Dan
reveal
and
of
Dave's
how they
hands,
did it.
because all the card like flourishing that was in the first 30
That was
seconds of the
damn
movie,
good.
that was Dan and Dave. That wasn't the people in
really?
the movie.
But
didn't
they
have to
killed
learn.
it on that
Were they
part.
good at it?
Yeah, they're
Oh, okay, that's
they're
cool.
the
Like,
like
when
they're
they
the
were
con what is it called they're like the main guys of like card flourishing in the like
What-
tall,
what they were
entire-
doing
Oh, I thought you meant the actors like Dave as a Dave Franco
Oh.
and whoever Dan
Oh.
is.
No, Dan and
Yeah, I was like, whoa, they're actually
Dan and
good at
Dave
this?
Buck. They're like really
Dave
influential
Franco's
in the
in that
magic
movie?
industry.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed when they were doing like the magic tricks and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
like when they were doing that and like
But that
making
doesn't
it.
make a good movie.
No, it doesn't.
I know.
No, I know. I'm just
It's
saying,
just
like,
saying
that
that
was
was
the
redeeming
spectacle
quality.
of it.
Well, out of the movie, there were parts of it that were enjoyable, but the movie as a whole was trash.
That's why it's so
Yeah.
bad though, is because their whole goal was we're gonna be such good magicians, as some
Musicians.
such good magicians that we get into this cool secret club. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, Mark Ruffalo's this like FBI dude who's like,
The
I'm gonna
whole time.
stop these guys. Yeah, I'm gonna nail them.
Oh, by the way, it was
They're
me the
coming
whole
back."
time.
Yeah, and then at the end, he's just like, you guys did good.
Well-
You're in the club. I'm the leader of the
Well-
club. And they're like, whoa, where's the club? He's like, I'm the whole club.
What made it even worse was there was like
It's my
reference-
garage.
It's not even my garage. It's
And
my
I'm like
mom's
a really
garage.
good actor because I was motivated to stop you the entire movie
Yeah.
until this
Well,
moment.
Yeah.
what made it even worse is they referenced this old magician who's like this legend who basically died doing a Houdini-esque stunt,
Yeah.
like 30 years
punched
ago,
in
and
the
then it's
stomach.
just fucking Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
Like it's just him the whole
Being
time.
magic, real magic.
Yeah, real
Real
magic.
magic.
Like he survived
Yeah.
by being like, whoop,
I'm a tree now.
welcome to the carousel.
The second one
bitches.
should be like Mark Ruffalo in the club, like going around and just fucking with a gay man couple.
Why?
No, 'cause it's like the other David Blaine. Like,
Yes.
I
get it.
My
Oh yeah.
What the F?
That's way better than.
Those videos are
Those are
actually
so
Yeah, those
So
David
they
Blaine
have
videos.
those-
I would have
those
rather
are
gone to the
great.
theater and seen those than see this.
What the
Now
F?
You
Because
See
they're all
Me.
one shots
Blade
too.
Street Magic.
Yeah.
I've seen Street Magic.
The
but-
what? No.
No,
It's like
not
the
the
YouTube
fake
video.
David Blaine.
There's a guy pretending to be David Blaine and two.
And he just
very
like, he
stares at the
apparent
camera, he's
dudes.
Yeah, he's
And he just fucks with them constantly.
It's from like 2006.
It's
it was like
when
right
some guy
when
is
it was
drinking
first
the
started.
Cheez-Its and the guy's like pulls out like
videos.
Cheez-Its.
Yeah.
We'll have to show you because it's really good.
It actually is.
I think the
Right. There's
first
so many of
day
them, too.
I actually discovered YouTube and I was just like clicking recommended stuff. That's probably when I
Yeah.
found that. So
I found that when I was looking up actual David Blaine
Back in
videos.
the day.
Yo, did
What
you
were we
guys
talking about before?
did you guys bring up that we beat Towerfall?
Oh.
Yeah, we talked about
Yeah, we
it.
talked
earlier.
about it
Okay,
before.
yeah. Okay, yeah.
Did we?
No,
we don't
not
really.
really.
Everybody-
No, Nick, you guys
Everybody-
beat the boss rush though. So
Everybody
beat
knows
yeah.
except
Yeah.
Luke, and Luke doesn't care. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was hype though,
It was
man.
fucking-
Yeah,
The
it was dope.
ending, oh, it was cool.
Did you
I
guys
don't get
actually have
hyped
to do
over
the
games.
prison thing or
Yeah.
to survive?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Nick-
And you know
Nick
who did it?
was
He
fucking
did it.
weird, man.
Yeah.
It was like I looked at it after, and you know what? The reason I suffered all the bombs because I just wanted to put like the night before. I was like, I told you, I was like,
Yeah,
you
you
were
were
playing
watching.
for 2.5
Yeah,
hours straight.
I got home and I look at my phone and there's a text from Nick and he's like, "Yo," whatever you said
Yeah,
to me.
yeah.
But he was
He's
like,
like,
"Oh,
yo,
I just went home and watched the broadcast of it."
It's
I'm
like two.
okay.
We played like 2.5 hours because I wanted to see what it like looked like when we were just going fucking crazy. We played 2.5 hours and then we played like the previous time. But like the way we did it is that in the game when you respawn somebody, you gain invulnerability for a second.
Yeah.
When I spawned on you guys, that's why we survived the bombs because it was like the invulnerability at that exact
Yeah.
second.
Yeah.
So that was like,
The funny thing too is that when Nick survives, all of us are dead and we're all in the same area. So Nick just has to stand on top of us for like 2 seconds, and we get back up. Except he lands, and then he starts dodging. And running.
What do I do?
He's panicking, and
Yeah.
he's just like, "Just heal someone, please."
that's how you.
That was sick.
Nice.
Especially because we were all just like, after we lost
We
the
put
second
down
last
the
time,
controls, we're like,
yeah,
we're
we put
about
him
to go
down, we're
home.
like, alright, it's time to go. Like,
Me
and then, yeah, I'm just
let's
like,
do
I
another
mean,
one.
I'm good for one more. He's like, I'm always good for one
Oh,
more.
yeah, I can go for
It's like,
days.
And then we're like, alright, last one, and it was on like our second last life too, right? Like
Yeah.
it was nuts.
I really want to talk about Cabral because I've talked about him in a podcast before.
Cabral Richards.
But Connor finally saw Cabral perform.
He's a local rapper. This guy, so I'm
He's
sitting-
insane. First
like
of all,
literally.
Is
I'm
he inside or outside the membrane?
both. He's both at the same time. So
Oh my
I'll
God.
just give you a picture. So I'm sitting with Matt, getting ready for a show. Like they're just playing the DJ sets. Everyone's getting their mics set up and whatnot. A lot of people aren't here yet, but you know
Is
everyone's
this
having
Friday?
Yes, Friday.
Yeah.
Everyone's having some drinks, just chatting, having a good time. And this like tall, skinny black kid walks in with these tight pants, big high tops, and like this really ghetto jacket, and just a fucking ski mask on. Like, and he just sits down and like starts staring at people, and like he just starts like looking at people, and then people that know him like go over and start shaking his hand, but he's still like giving everyone this eye, and then he just like starts. The DJ start playing some really hype music. He starts like jumping around and freaking out. Like
no one is there. There's like 10 people there,
and he's just like
the only
like,
person
and he's
there.
literally like, ah! Like, he's up on this, like on the chairs, just going like, yeah!
He's insane.
Like just a ski mask, and then like that was it. That was him. That was the whole night. And then he just did that all night, and then he had to perform later.
Oh.
So
So
then,
that's this guy.
Yeah.
so for my set, because I went on right before Cabral did, for my set I brought like a chair to the front of the stage. That way, when my song dropped, I jumped up and I started rapping, and everyone was really into it. It was awesome. It was super fun. But then when his set came on, I came back in and he started rapping and started doing his crazy shit that he normally does. I'm like, Connor witnessed like when I showed you that picture of him like being on the ground, like getting.
Oh, that's that guy?
Yeah, he just
It's
takes
that
a
guy.
shirt up, like lays on the ground and raps for a while.
Yeah.
Like he's just like on the ground, like
But and he makes sure to be on stage like 10 minutes before set and just stands there. Like he just stood there going like,
yeah, like just giving it.
Right before
Ski
set
mask is
starts,
like
like-
eyeing everyone.
This guy says fucking
This guy's
amazing.
hype is
and he gets up. He's like, everyone get the fuck to the front. Like he's crazy.
Yeah, like-
It's insane. So then like maybe like 5 minutes in, the chair that I brought up is still by the stage, and he just tosses
Yeah.
it into the wall.
Oh.
He just kicks it over.
And the way he starts a set, he didn't have like a controller or like a MIDI controller or a laptop. He had his iPod. And he plugged it into the PA.
Oh.
And he had the bartender who was like this whitest kind of gay dude in the back. He's like, yo, blonde nigga, turn it up. Turn it up. Yo, turn it up. Everybody get the fuck to the front. And that was how he started his set.
He's insane.
Yeah, it was like he just started like yelling at the bartender to turn his shit up on his fucking iPod, and then yelled at everyone to get at the
What's
front.
his name?
Cabral.
Cabral.
He was
Okay.
so cool.
That guy sounds hyped to have at a concert.
Wow.
Man.
Yeah,
He's
it
probably
was-
he's probably the best rapper in Edmonton, but he's also like insane.
I like the idea of laying down rapping. It's just like,
Well, every
He started
single
with Jack-
set he takes his shirt off. That's just how it goes.
Just
At the end of the
all
set,
layers.
every single set for his last song, he takes his shirt off and he goes crazy.
Yeah.
And like literally, he started laying on the ground and like not even rapping. Like it was in the
He
middle
just
of a
like
breakdown.
mumbling
and
into a
he,
mic
does he
with
take
a
his
vocal.
Ski mask off.
Yeah, he
Yes.
took his ski mask off.
Okay.
Mask off, but
He had it on for the first song though.
and he wasn't even just sitting there on the ground like laying there.
This
he
is-
was like writhing.
This is
and,
what
like,
he was doing.
moving
He was
around.
like this.
Yeah, like literally.
Okay.
Like that was literally what he was doing
Yeah,
for like 10 minutes.
This sounds so much like Death Grips. It's insane.
He's Death Grips incarnate.
It was great.
Yeah.
It was so awesome.
Yeah, I was like, I thought my set was good. His was so much better.
Having personality.
Like
Definitely.
before, when I saw him perform, it was like I was far enough away that wasn't like that. I didn't really witness the whole thing. But this time, everyone I was up at the front because I was performing, so I was like supporting everyone. He gets in your fucking face. Yeah. Like he'll start rapping and then he'll go around to people and he'll like grab them and he'll come up to you and be like, and you can like smell the smart water on his breath and you're just like, oh my god.
Ski mask on,
and he's like legitimately ghetto as shit.
Yeah.
And looks like he's probably killed somebody.
Yeah.
Like he's got that feel about him. Like this guy probably beat someone to death. And or curb
This guy's very
someone.
smart at like marketing himself.
Yeah.
Because like we're talking about him now.
Yeah, but it was cool.
He understands what to do. I think you should adapt insane persona, something like that. Except not. Obviously, that's been done now, so you can't do crazy.
I'm not
weird
an
guy.
insane. I'm not
You
an
have to do
insane
like
persona,
super religious, nice man.
Yeah, no, nice guy. Like you have like flowers and shit for.
Like I'll be like
everyone.
Rev Run. Like
Run DFC, like that kind of shit.
yeah, it was cool. I'm like I don't have an insane persona, but I am a strong performer, so I like that part.
Oh, you're just like, Rah!
Yeah, I lift things. I pick bitches up in the middle of my set and go like, I keep rapping.
that would be cool. That's something else.
Like I am really buff. I'm strong. I'm strong. Just bring barbells like on the stage and occasionally
Just bring strange objects.
Oh, you're gonna talk about the
Just bring, like,
do-rag guy?
a flower
Yeah.
pot and
Okay.
a ball.
The second set of the night,
Some urns, and he's like, "This is my brother."
Just all kinds of strange objects, and then as you rap, just lift one up.
Or you could be a juggle rapper.
Yeah!
So you could be
juggle
juggling and
rap.
rapping.
I need a mic stand though.
You'd have
That'll
to
be your
have,
only
like,
beat.
one of those,
Yeah,
like,
that'll be your only
Yeah, or the usher, yeah.
No, you gotta do the musical theater mic where it's just on your forehead. Yeah. No, okay, so
The second set of the night was this like brown guy with like this really solid mustache and a do-rag.
No, okay, but not just a do-rag. He was wearing like Armani pants and a polo shirt, and then had a do-rag. And he was like Indian, like super
He was at
Indian.
he was at the
Business
party I
on
went
the
to last
bottom.
night. He was at the dance I went
Yeah,
to.
and then he forgot all his beats except for one, so he only had one song. So his set was one song, and then every other rapper freestyling with him for half an hour.
Oh, actually,
it was great.
It was sick. I had a good time.
Yeah, but like his freestyles were him just like screaming into the mic. He also bounced an old man out of the
That was amazing.
Because there was this really old dude, he's probably in his 70s, that was really, really, really drunk, and he was like hassling the DJs, like, play real music, and like trying to push him and stuff. So this dude just gets up in his face and like starts pushing him out the door, and then they like shove him out the door, like, get the fuck out and don't come back.
No, everybody get the fuck to the front.
That's great.
That's his grab by breaks in every set. He's like, his people pumped up, he beats the shit out of his grab. He's like, everybody get the fuck to the front.
It was a fun night.
It was a good night. It says it was so hot in the bar, but that's just because it's hot everywhere right now.
It was hype as shit.
It's nice in the basement currently.
Not really.
No, it's
I'm
so
sweating
hot.
like a
I'm a
fucking
furnace
idiot.
guy.
I am
Sorry,
comfortable
I'm like,
right now.
I'll turn on AC as soon
Everyone
as
that has more body mass than you is sweating a lot.
Speaking of hot at the bar yesterday and hype dudes, like literally hot, like sweaty and gross. I'm gonna say one more word. No, okay, you didn't do it. There's this guy, and we were at just this kind of pub-ish bar. I don't want to name it, but it doesn't matter. And
Par.
what? Par, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, the par. Yeah, the snake.
Or the snakes.
We're at the Black Snakes, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Why
yeah.
they have to be black?
No,
Because that's
No,
the
it's
first
not.
word of the bar's
Can't-
name.
Oh.
We're at the Black Snakes.
Jesus Christ.
And
Okay.
there's this guy, so it's not a dance bar at all. But there was this guy who decided it's going to be a dance bar. He was totally on his own. And so there's just a room with tables, and it's a relatively small room. It's kind of set up like this, and then there's one table in the middle, kind of like an island. So that way he can do a lap around this table. He did like probably about 30 laps around the table just dancing. So, and it wasn't good dance moves. It was kind of just like,
But he's
talking
like
about?
kind of
That
like
sounds
sliding.
yeah, and
like,
then
slowly
the
around.
arms are like dangling the whole time as he does this.
Was it better than your
shoulders
first
and,
dance
like-
moves?
Yeah, a little bit better than this. But, and then and so we were all watching him do it, and he was covered in sweat because he was wearing a toque, a hoodie,
Dude, it was
jeans, socks
ski
and shoes. Yeah, it was super all.
This
This
is brown.
is a white guy.
His dance moves are a little bit better.
Yeah, and like all of us were sweating like crazy in shorts and stuff because like
it
it
was
wasn't
hot
a
as
patio.
dicks.
Yeah, it was inside and there was no air conditioning and stuff, so it was crazy. And he was just soaking the place. But then he kept getting more and more hype every song. Like he was gaining in confidence every time. So at first they were just little moves like this, and then he started getting bigger and he started like throwing in some of the E's and stuff.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. And then my favorite one, and all of us were watching him quietly but not saying anything. He just kind of stands there, and then you won't be able to see my feet. Oh, can you? No. Here. There we go. He puts one foot on the ground, the other one drags like this.
Oh.
This is difficult. And then he just spins around with his foot dragging.
So like a half jerk.
And then his foot is just dragging as he spins all the way around. And all of us are at the table like, whoa! We start like freaking out and be like, yeah! And he didn't really notice us. Like, he also had headphones on, but the music was so loud in the bar that there's no way he could hear his headphones. So I don't know why he had them. But yeah, it was just hype, and then we were joking around that, oh, this is his exercise for the week, because he's all here alone. And then about an hour into it, he just kind of goes, and he looks at his phone, and goes, and then walks out the bar. I was like, oh, we're going over.
I would have followed him.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Go to a different bar and just do the exact same
I felt
thing.
like, it was weird, too, because we went to another bar right after that, there was a guy who looked just like him. We're like, no, it's not the same guy. We're like, how
He just
did you
changed
just
outfits. Is what
Yeah.
I went to a new venue last night called Space.
Oh, you were
my
telling
God.
about space, yeah.
It was horrible.
Venue as in somebody's house?
No,
Like-
it was like you know like where the hookers start on Jasper Ave,
Where do they end?
Wait.
like past Canada Place,
Okay.
Move,
So
too.
like west, like
Yeah.
the west.
Oh,
like
yeah.
on 95th
No, no,
Street.
East. Okay.
Yeah, I think it was
Towards
east is the more
past
hookers.
Shaw and that
Yeah.
shit.
Past Shaw.
It's like
That's
away
where,
from
like,
like
the
124th
Chinese
Street.
town that doesn't
124th Street
exist
where it's
anymore
okay.
is-
That was where that tattoo parlor was, where they didn't have a business license. Was. It
And
was
the
like right
jail
next
that's
door.
not a jail anymore?
Yes,
So
all that
that-
shit.
Place.
So
The
like,
sketchy part of town.
Yeah.
so like this one place, and first of all, I walk around the building twice because I don't know where the door is. I can see the lights in the window, but I don't know how to
In
fucking
space,
get
there are
in.
no doors in space.
I know, and I was really sad that I ended up getting in because it was on the top floor of this building.
Was the doors airlocks?
I wish.
Okay, then that club is so stupid.
It is dumb.
You don't
That'd be
if
cool.
it had airlocks,
But
it's like
it was so unbelievably warm, and there were maybe 5 people in the building when I got there.
Yeah,
and it
too
was
much
still,
solar radiation.
Exactly. I wish it had been more like space though, because then it would have at least been colder.
yeah.
But yeah, like
There's so
2
much
big
solar
PA
radiation.
speakers, just lights everywhere, but like 5 people dancing, and it was really, really strange. But then like then it came to be like 100 people got there. But the thing is, the aesthetic was really weird. Because you go up to the bar, and they don't really actually call this place Space. They just took masking tape and wrote it, and like traced out the word space really, really badly with
So
this
it's super
marking
pretentious,
pencil.
is what it is.
Yeah, and they had like cups with like
Super pretentious assholes come
Every day.
Yeah, they had like plastic cups that said like Canada on them. They were like, clearly like Canada Day leftover cups and like.
So it's literally like someone was like, yo, let's just go squat in this building and have a party.
Yeah,
It's like a warehouse party.
It was pretty sick. And then there was this one guy named Vince. And I found out he was Vince because he introduced himself to me 5 times.
And he was bald and he started.
He was
Fast and Furious.
he was bald-ish, and
Oh, Vince! Oh, I
Not
think
Vin.
Yeah, Vince.
I was like, Vincent Vaughn.
Yeah.
No, what is
Yeah.
Vaughn?
I knew what you meant, but I didn't want to say
Yeah,
it.
that was so
Vince
bad.
His name is
Diesel.
something
Diesel.
Sinclair.
So what he did was he walked into the front. He found the door faster than I did.
Yeah.
Sir Vincent Diesel. Esquire.
Vince Diesel is
Yeah,
such
interrupt
not
all
a
your stories,
badass
so.
name.
It's actually a drinking name now.
Sorry.
Nice.
Yeah. So he walks in and he's like, hey, can I get into this party? And then Jabril, the guy at the desk, is like, no, you can't unless you have like $10. He's like, I'm not paying $10 to get in this shithole. So he walked around and he hopped over the fence, and like no one said anything until he started like going up to women and being that random creepy dude that you know at parties. And he would go up and he'd be like, hey, you're awesome. I'm awesome too. If I had to give you a cool rating of 1 to 10, it'd be over 9,000. I was like,
And then he fucked every one of those
Somebody
guys.
had like the little range beater and like the same
No,
outfit.
I would have lost
he
my
just
shit if
looked
he said
homeless.
that. I'd be like,
He
you're
was
the
a
coolest-
homeless meme machine. It was insane.
That's such a good rap name.
The homeless meme machine.
So he came up to me and was like, oh, you make music? I was like, yeah. He's like, I make music too. I use like FL Studio. I got like a MIDI controller. And like, I'm sitting there like, I'm sorry, sir. And there was this girl that I was talking to, her name, it doesn't even matter her name, but he came up to her and he was like, hey, you should make your own music. And she was like, I'm not like musically inclined. That's a weird thing to say. He's like, yeah, but you should make your own music because that would be hot. And I'm like,
I like this guy.
That's my favorite meme.
so what I had
That's
to
a good
do,
meme.
because I was hanging out with like a bunch of people, what I had to do was whenever he came up to another group of people and started like, I called it the Vince trap, I would come up to him and be like, hey, how's it going? Who are you? Blah, blah. And I'd take him away and we start talking about meaningless bullshit that I don't care about.
You guys are not
Just so
going
no
beer.
one else had to deal with him.
I think you did it backwards, man. When he goes up and creeps the group out, that's when you like go and
Are
talk to
supposed to
that
be
group
normal.
and like yeah.
We
basically
can't phase
push
him out
away.
because whenever I would go to the group, he would talk to me or he would continue awkwardly hitting on the girls there.
That's why you do the old just kind of sidle my way in front of you strat.
That's
what
what
we
we
used to do
yeah.
kids in high school.
Yeah.
Saddle?
That shall remain sidle. Like
Oh.
just slide slow.
Slide.
That
Or
way
we
won't-
saddle him up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
It's,
shall
it's
remain
slide
nameless, but we
spelled
did that
weird.
to people.
Sidle.
Dude, it
Just
is.
put the L's
In
in
Wind,
it.
in Wind Waker, one of the things when you
Sidle.
push up against the wall to slide along, it is sidle. And
Yeah,
I was
sidle's
like,
definitely a word.
is that just a
It is a
misspelling?
word. No, it's an
Sidling up-
actual word.
Sidling up
Yeah,
to someone.
sidle's like doing
I mean,
Yeah.
Connor's used it so many times that I've become confident in it being a word purely because
Generally,
of
if I
that.
use a word, it's a real word.
Why don't you
I
do?
know.
Why didn't you
Except for
just out meme
honky
him?
wonkles.
I should have out-memed him. That was
Just,
the thing.
just
But the thing is,
challenge
like,
him to a meme
Just
off.
start yelling, "Bad luck, Brian!" Good
Doge.
things here.
Yeah.
420
Doge.
bladed it.
Yeah.
And the entire time, I was like, Jabril came up to me and he was like, "So yeah, we're thinking about kicking this dude out, but Clint won't do anything about it." Yeah. And I was like, of course Clint won't do anything about it. He's not here. Who the like?
Whoa.
I'm like, Clint from Clint's house. He's like, no, different Clint. Guy with like a Jew afro. And I was like,
Jafro?
I've never seen this dude my entire
Jafro.
life.
That's
I like
He said Jew afro.
I like Jaffro way better than
Jafro's
Jufro.
basic.
Yeah.
Did he say Jew after?
He said Jew afro.
Jufro, that's what it is.
It's supposed to be a Jew fro, but he said Jew afro, and I was like, that's a weird way
I
to
mean,
say
it is Clint. You never know. He could be a black Jew.
Clint's crazy.
Because then that's a Jew afro, right?
Yeah, but apparently,
Sammy Davis
Yeah,
Jr.
yeah, yeah.
could have had it.
Well,
apparently
I
he-
mean, that'd just be a like Jerry curl, basically. It would be like the halfway point.
Yeah, but the
really.
Jerry curl you have to like put in your hair.
Yeah.
don't you?
Yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, afros you do have to pick out.
But Clint's,
Yeah.
Clint's reasoning was, well, he didn't pay, he's hassling all of my guests, but he hasn't hassled me, so don't worry about it.
Don't worry.
So we just stayed the entire
you
night.
see do-rag guy to bounce him for no
Yeah, I
reason.
should have gotten Durag guy to bounce him. He was there. It was really funny. He was talking about. He was like, "So those girls you brought with you, taking any of them home?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I'm driving them home because I drove them here."
Yeah, I am literally taking
Yeah,
it
and then
home.
he's like, "Are you hitting?" And I was like, "No, I'm not."
I don't hit women.
Who
thank you.
talks like
I'm,
that?
I'm not
Bad
hit,
people.
I'm not finna hit that. And then he was, yeah.
Finna get loose.
He was like, "Then what are you driving them around for?"
Wow.
And I was like,
wow.
"Oh
you-
my
You
god!"
actually think like that, man. You were a bad person.
He's like, "Yeah, I stopped doing that. I just take the bus now. I can drive, but I don't, but I don't drive anyone around because, like, if I'm not gonna have sex."
No, he's on the bus.
I was like, "Oh my
But
god,
the
you're a
bus
terrible
works
human
so
No,
being."
he's on the bus
better.
and he's like, I'm driving all these people. So I'm boxing. He's like, I'm fucking that bitch. I'm fucking this bitch. My friend's like, yeah, can I get around? I'd be like, yeah, what's up?
And then when
Let's
someone
go
gets
to
on,
this
he's like,
bus
"Welcome to the meme bus."
stop."
This bus holds over 9,000.
He doesn't even want to like go anywhere. He just rides the bus around looking for like random women to come on the bus to hit on.
Yeah.
Oh, alright.
It costs $375 to ride this.
And for the first time last night,
Oh,
I
you
did the
can give
thing
me a
that often
transfer.
happens in clubs, I think, where a girl talks, but the music's so loud you can't hear her, so you just go, "Yeah, right." And I did that for about half an hour.
And she's like, if you say yeah, right, I'll kill you. I'm like,
yeah.
yeah, right.
Just to kill you.
Yeah. And then
This whole
apparently
thing.
I was such a good listener at the end. She's like, "Oh yeah, sometimes I go to the pool with my friends. Give me your number and I'll text you next time I want to go."
Yo, let's
I'm
go
like,
to the pool.
The pool.
Yo,
I've not
we
been
should all
invited
go
to the pool since I was 12.
You got a problem
so
with
this
the
is really
pool?
weird.
Yeah, Ron, we got a problem with the pool.
You got
It's
a problem with
gross.
the pool?
It's gross.
Take up the pool with me. I
It's
got a problem
gross.
with the pool.
Yo, the pool's gross. Straight up, it's
Who told
gross.
you to put the pool on?
I don't know how to respond to that. I'm just
Put the
gonna
chlorine
say
in the pool.
pool's
That's it. Put the chlorine in the pool.
Pool's gross.
Pool's sick.
Gross.
But I'm pretty sure this woman's like
Pool's
28 years old.
And
I know, no, the thing is she's hot, but it was like, I was like, I'm 21 years old and she doesn't know how old I am because it's dark and she can't.
if I give her my number, I don't care.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yeah, that's what I was
get on the
asking
bar.
for, Connor.
Fine, give
That's
her my
exactly what I was
number.
asking
Well, if
for.
she's too old for you, I'll take her.
Anyway, I really like this girl, but she might be too old. So anyway, here's her number. You've never met her, but she's yours now.
No, it's like, what lie do I tell so I can continue hanging out with her? That's what I'm asking.
Oh, just go to the pool.
It's a nice time.
But I
It's a
don't
good
like the
workout.
pool.
She
It's a good
invited
workout,
you to
you'll
the
have
pool.
Why
fun.
do you like the pool?
It's gross.
How do you not like the
It's
pool?
gross.
Wait,
Pool's
what?
good.
What do you
Yo,
like
invite her to
better than the
billiards.
pool?
Yeah, what's
And
better
be like,
than
you
the
like,
pool?
why don't we
Take her
play
instead of
pool?
the
You
With
want to
more
take her to
slides.
space? Oh wait, the pool.
I met her at space.
Dude, the pool is not a real pool. It's a concert venue. I'm telling you.
She was talking about doing
Yeah.
edibles before,
Yeah,
so.
at the pool.
Like edible arrangements.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like just a
really
big
overpriced
basket.
fruit baskets. overpriced for.
I was like, I
Yeah.
don't know if going to the
Very.
Kinsman pool and doing edibles sounds fun.
Dude,
Yo,
that
go
would
to
be
Robbie's
so much
pool.
fun.
You can't do
You
edibles
have-
at my pool.
You have no idea how much fun it is.
Edibles.
And like
It's
edibles,
like for
weed,
weddings.
weed treats.
Like, yeah.
Like weed cookies.
No, no.
Weed treats.
You
It
should
sounds
have
like
said that. He didn't know.
Weed treats.
Weed treats.
Wheat
They're like
treats.
wheat thins.
Temptation.
No,
Sounds
just ask her
treats.
if she wants to go to the water park because edibles at the water park is the greatest thing on the planet.
Why would we go to the water park? That's
Because it's
amazing.
edibles at the
Water
water
park's
park.
sick, actually. I went recently. It's a lot of fun.
Type
I
of
thought
shit.
it would have gone way down now that I'm
Yeah,
not a
I mean,
kid.
you kind of turned me off because you were talking about how gross it is there.
Yeah, but-
like that's actually like
It is gross.
cool.
Yeah, but now we
Yeah,
can
it
drink
is
when we
gross.
go there, so I don't think about it.
Yeah.
That sounds like a horrible combination.
No,
Wait,
you
wait,
haven't got a
West
loop
End?
slide in
Yeah, the
whatever.
loop is so
When-
cool,
yeah,
man.
it's so fun. Oh my god.
Especially because you don't even know. So there's this slide, and they put you in like a capsule at the top.
Yeah.
Like you
Oh,
don't even
yeah.
get to go down when you want.
And then they go like 3,
Yeah.
2, and drop you straight down.
But sometimes they mess with you, and rather than going
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, drop, they'll go 3, 2, 3, 2, 3,
3,
3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, and just drop
Yeah.
you, and it's like ah.
But
They
the-
that must be old for them because they've been doing that since.
Yeah,
the
but they
ride,
still
like,
do it to new people to scare them.
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
especially
no.
because this one slide, the loop one, all the other slides you can see like the floor in front of the capsule because it drops you through the floor. This one, it's on the edge, so all you see is roof and then drop. So there's like nothing in front of you, and then you just go straight down.
Yeah, and you do
Yeah.
like a loop-de-loop, but you can't even feel the loop. You're
Yeah, you
going
just
so
feel like
fast.
G's.
Well,
You're
it's
like,
not even a total
"Ah!"
loop. It's like a kind of a sideways.
Well,
loop
because they
again.
can't do a
Well,
full
yeah.
loop.
I know exactly.
You would, the amount of speed you would
Sorry.
require would murder you.
I know what's funny. It's like at the bottom of the
capsule?
No,
No,
no.
at
you
first,
start in
at
the
first, and then you just go into a water
And the
slide.
panel just goes like, whoop, and then you slide
No,
down.
go
Oh.
straight in a capsule like a cryogenic tube.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking.
And then they let you out.
Well, you know what's funny is
Like,
this
Just
is
feel
shoot them
fast,
all.
kind of
It's so
fast,
crazy.
really
3
fast.
days
Yeah,
later.
there's a panel at the bottom of the loop.
At the bottom of
for
the
fat
slide
people
going
who
like...
can't go
I
in.
almost,
They
my
charge
first time
you
going
for
down,
all
I almost
3
got
days.
stuck
It's like
at the top.
Pendorm. Everyone wakes up next
Yeah,
to you
I
and they
mean,
don't know
you
where they
do-
are. They've like lost
you
their
do
memory.
good
Well, I
Yeah.
didn't
You need to save
like
the world.
cross
Oh,
my
you didn't
body
do
the
this,
proper
yeah.
way, so I kind of like got a bunch of drag going into the loop, and I almost drowned at the top. It was crazy.
They tell you to like cross your legs, but as soon as the thing drops, everyone's panicked and goes like this
Oh no!
right away.
I
So,
always
yeah.
because I've gotten the wedgie from hell from the skyscraper before. Like because
The
if you don't,
wedgie
if,
from
you
hell.
guys have all been on the skyscraper,
Yeah.
right? Like at West
Yeah, I
End.
hate it. It tore apart
Yeah.
my fingernail off.
So-
Wait, is that the
That's a
That's
straight
straight
down.
down.
It was
So
awesome.
the first
I
time
love
I went on it, I
That's
didn't
fun.
know how to ride it, so I was just like, "Yeah, cool, like this."
Ooh.
And my shorts were on my asshole, like in my asshole.
You didn't even have shorts. You just had like the
Yeah,
strings
oh, no,
poking
like,
out.
they started here, and they were like here by the end, and there was nothing hanging off. It was just right up there. So I always like,
There's a big flaw with like number of slides at
Yeah.
the water park. Like with skyscraper or skyscreamer,
Skyscraper.
skyscreamer,
What a good
it's that it might rip your fingernail off if you
I
haven't
cracked my
enjoyed it.
tailbone on
suck.
Nessie's Revenge.
The tropical tsunami or whatever, it's the toilet bowl one.
Yeah,
I
look
like
I
that
always
one.
hit the back of my head
Yo,
whenever
yo,
I go
I
down.
used to do that all the time.
Oh, I always
That's
just
all
fall
you
inside.
guys.
No, because they don't tell you, like, they don't make you lie down, so you just, like, sit.
And then when you
whatever,
go to the
it's
ball,
like-
you're like, pop!
Because
Every
time
time.
you should lay down and just lift your head a little bit.
Have like a
No,
little
because
bit
what
of
happens
abs.
is, like, I go down like this and I
No,
lift
I
my
just
head
keep my
so I
head
can
up.
see ahead of me,
Yeah.
and then I get down.
And then with Nessie's Revenge, you almost break your tailbone every
No,
time.
I cracked my tailbone on Nessie's Revenge when I was younger.
That's
I,
what
well, because
by far the scariest.
I got so much
Which one's
air
scary?
coming
That's
off
not
the first
big
2
purple
bumps.
bump.
It's right
I
next to the
skipped the
skyscraper.
bump. I
Oh,
skipped
yeah.
the bump. Like I flew. I got air,
Yeah,
and then I
it-
landed.
It
It was
gives you so much
horrible.
speed. It's
Gets a lot of
it's
air, yeah.
scary.
It was horrible.
Although now that they have the capsules, it's hard to believe
No.
that they ever didn't have them.
Well,
because,
that's
like,
only
yeah.
for the
I just
2
remember
slides.
like going on the skyscraper before that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, you could have just been like, whoops.
And right
Ah! These guys do that. They like swing
yeah, that's what I
off the
did,
bar
yeah.
and like fall. So
Yeah,
they
you
do,
could have
like
just like
free
you could
fall.
have killed yourself.
I know, it's
Yeah,
so
so it
scary.
was just a slide and there was a bar.
Because
but
you
could
have to
run
lay
at the
down the
bar and
skyscraper.
swing
You can't
yourself.
get up
really
or you
want
fall
to.
over and
I
die.
saw
would
people
die.
free fall
Yeah.
like 30
Sounds
feet.
awful.
Yeah, but like
I
I,
know.
held onto
So
the bar
scary.
a little bit too much and I went flying up in the air and like my leg hit the side of it. I wasn't over the side of it, but my leg hit the side. So if I was 6 inches more to the side, I had
You
like
would
a
die.
50-50
Oh, no.
shot of
Yeah,
dying.
because it's like 3 stories to fall.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, it's
I don't know
pretty
why
freaky.
they never.
Yeah,
do.
now that it's capsules, it's like, wow, this is way too safe.
Has anyone ever died there?
No, a few people have knocked themselves out though.
Yeah.
Like a bunch of guys like would go to swing and just like just go,
That is like a hardcore place for like ex-Navy SEAL lifeguards. Like, it's like,
Yeah, they have to
They're just
jump
like-
in like every shift.
every
It's
shit.
horrible.
Is that, yeah, I can
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah.
They should have like really like aggressive metal concerts there where they like have mosh pits like on top of slides. You go, ah!
They had fucking raves.
They have that, yeah, they have
down
raves.
south.
I was there in
They've had
Saturday.
raves there, which is sweet.
Really?
Except
I like
people
the-
Well, it's
get stabbed and stuff.
It's a rave,
Like-
and then it's not really a rave. It's just
They play
it's like
some-
electronic
they play-
music.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Steve Aoki and garbage like that.
Yeah. So it's not a real rave, but
But I like the little
Shit on
kid
Aoki.
part.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
like-
with the warm water.
The
Not
giant, the
okay.
warm water, and it
I
has
like
that
the hot
giant
tub.
thing at the top that
You know what?
slowly
Hey,
fills up and then falls down.
I really
on
like
you.
the pool Millennium Place in Sherwood Park. It
That's
has that
good.
hot tub with the
the
thing that goes
whirlpool,
around.
the literal whirlpool.
Yeah, the
I
one
love that.
lazy
Yeah.
Lazy
Yeah.
River.
Well, yeah,
It's
like,
Yeah.
the only
Yeah.
thing you ever do there is that because the rest of the pool kind of
Shit.
is
Well,
not
it's
good.
just a very basic pool.
There's a
Although
little,
last
there's a
winter
water
they had a
park
big,
over to the side. Though.
they had a big inflatable obstacle
Yeah,
course
I
set
know.
up there.
That'd be fun.
Oh,
They,
that's-
they do that occasionally, I guess.
We
Last
should
winter
go
it was
swimming
there. It was
and
really
get
cool.
the big the rubber docks and stuff, like those flat
Then just
things,
hang
and
out.
make boats and then fight.
See, the most
Let's go on
fun.
a swimming trip.
I think the
Let's
most
get
fun I've
a
ever
pool
had.
Do a
Yeah,
pool
Abop
cast.
swimming
Pool
trip.
cast. Do a pool cast.
we'll just get GoPros and do it.
Can we just try and do a podcast in a weird location for once?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like the Grove.
Like the
360.
No.
graveyard.
Yeah, like the
Triple
graveyard.
Six Grove.
let's
Okay.
go triple six.
Right in my backyard.
But like, I think the most fun I've ever
That's so
had at a
weird.
pool that wasn't like doing slides was
Because
actually at
always
West
there's
End.
like the cameras and
And we were
that.
just
that's
in the
silly.
wave pool,
What have you done?
but I was with some friends, and we were I was throwing them over the waves. Like, I was literally like launching them in the air over the
Sorry,
waves.
where is this?
At
West
West
End.
End.
At West End,
It was
the
like the
wave
most fun I've ever had in a wave pool.
Wave
Because they
pool
were
is
getting
really
so
fun.
much air, and then it would just hurt so much when they landed.
And then you
And
thought
then-
you picked up Luke, but you threw the wrong kid.
I did throw the wrong kid.
And
Yeah.
you puked,
And then
like,
some random
like,
dude jumped on me and was like, "Oh, sorry, you look just like my friend." And I was like, "Ah."
They have that big
Was
the
he-
ball.
Yeah, everyone. It's very
You could be in-
hard
No.
to tell who people are when they don't have shirts on.
Well,
What?
Like, you see, this was back when I had the mohawk.
I like to think I know you guys better by your torsos.
I know all you guys by your nips.
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys.
Fuck up Nip book.
I don't know if I've ever seen Nick's nipples.
No.
I don't think you're the only one.
Nick, can we see your nipples?
I don't think I've even seen you wear a t-shirt.
Yeah, no.
Dude,
there's
well,
a
I always-
t-shirt.
I'm just
T-shirt.
wearing
No, no, that's
Japanese
what I'm saying. He
porn
never
stars
wears
over
a
in front of it
t-shirt.
so no one
Well,
else
he's
sees
the
it. Just so we
That's
do.
the hoodie guy.
That'd be a nice fucking
We censored.
How often do you just t-shirt?
I never. I
Never,
always
yeah.
do like
I think
either,
this is
or
the first
I
time
do
I've seen
polos sometimes.
Yeah.
Which is very hot
Yeah,
today.
you look
Yeah, it's
like
very hot.
polo. Like,
He's
What?
like,
What? Come on!
Okay,
I was saying my friend looks nice.
Don't try to kiss me again, Alex. No. Yeah, mostly I just usually wear sweaters. But today, it's hot.
Fucking hot as hell.
It is hot.
It was
in
raining
the,
when I came out somewhere.
It was actually raining. Yeah, I was.
It
I
was
just
raining
sitting
so
outside
hard
for a bit.
earlier.
There's
Holy
gonna be a
shit.
stormy
How
tornado.
hard was it?
Like, I couldn't see 10 feet in front of my car.
Oh,
How hard?
what if there's a tornado during a podcast and we all have to hide together under the crawl space?
Let's
We'll bring the
Have you ever
cameras.
thought
'cause-
about that? Like whenever you see those footage or whatever of like tornadoes and people hiding in their dark basement, and you hear people like freaking the fuck out. Have you ever thought in your head like, what would you want to say in that scenario? Because when it goes viral, obviously. It'll go
Yeah,
viral.
Yeah,
well,
you-
we-
Yeah,
we
you
gotta
gotta
say
say
something
You gotta
cool.
say
Our
something
mixtape!
cool.
We don't have a cloud statue!
Oh my god, the cloud statue's gonna go flying!
We have to make an agreement because if that happens,
Hey,
we've
there's
got to
a-
be prepared.
There's a tornado warning. Do you mind? if
We
I
should have a
just-
tornado warning script,
Yeah.
like just in
Get the
case.
fuck out of here. We don't have a tornado.
I just barely touched you.
We still gotta do that video that like.
Yeah.
Fuck out.
You missed it. We played Quiplash and then we did
All
like,
the
a
clown
clown
statue.
statue.
and it was-
Oh.
Stop!
I'm not doing it.
You like bash your wang.
Dude, I don't want you to bash
Bash
my
my
way. Yeah, baby, bash my way.
Yo, baby, bash my way.
What time are we at?
Too long.
We're talking about pools.
Oh, we're at an hour and 1 minute.
Wow, so
Pools.
that went by fast.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I'm
Talk
talking
more about
about
dinosaur.
I met a fish at the pool the other day. Not like an actual
Like the
fish,
man-fish?
but like yeah.
Was it a cosplay?
Someone who uses fishing scams to get people.
Yeah, PH. No, this woman was swimming in the pool, and someone's like, "Go check that woman out." I'm like, "All right, I'll check that woman out." And she's like 40s or 50s and like quite chubby, and so I'm like,
Oh.
"Okay, there's something weird going on here."
Too fat.
But then she was just in the pool, and she kept her eyes closed. Then she just went for a few minutes. He's like, "That's
Underwater
weird."
or like above?
She was just kind of swimming slowly, just
Oh.
along. Yeah, she was above, but
Wait,
like,
So imagine like a wounded trout, and that's what she was
Yeah.
doing.
Well,
Just
she's
doing
like
that
a-
snake, like sensing her environment around her.
Yeah, it must be. I was like, okay,
How color.
this is strange. And then she just kept going, and for the whole half an hour that I was watching that side, she kept doing it. I'm like, this is strange. So I walk over to the other lifeguard. I'm like, what's up with her? And they're like, you don't know the weirdest part yet. I'm like, what's the weirdest part? They point over there, they're like, check out those water bottles. So I walk over. There's 3 different disposable water bottles, just like, you know, bottles of water.
Yeah.
They're all opened and drank to half exactly. And they're all hers.
What?
I don't know.
What does it mean?
I don't know.
That's so weird.
And then she kept going over them. She'd pick one up, She wouldn't drink any. She'd put it down and she'd keep being a fish.
Dude, she's literally an alien. Like, that's what an alien would do when trying to be a person.
Yeah, they kind of viewed people in a pool for like 12 minutes. They're like, all right, I get this.
They
I get this.
swim
They
back
just
and
watched
forth.
documentaries on
Really,
fish
though.
before they landed, and they thought that was how it worked.
Yeah. They're like, shit, we got
That's
the wrong
literally
body.
an alien.
Yeah, it was bizarre.
You should peel her face off. See if
Think about
Just
it.
in the middle of your shift. Just,
just take a carpet knife and just.
Plus, her bathing suit was too small for her. So, like,
Do you have preferences over different
Definitely
public
alien.
pools?
yeah.
Kinsman's
Like
really
what?
awesome.
I mean, I don't really want to just like put pools on blast. Specific.
Well,
pools
especially because
on
he
this.
works at them.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
well,
work
why don't we
at
end
one
and then we'll
of
talk
the
about
podcasts.
polls.
Bye,
Hey,
podcast.
cool.
Bye.
Number 62, follow him on Twitter, he sucks.
Yay.